Welcome to the Take a Listing Today podcast, where our hosts Jim Studebaker and Todd Robertson give you strategies to get you out of the office right now so you can take a new listing today. And now, here's Jim and Todd.
Howdy.
It's us again, show number 118, Take a Listing Today podcast. I'm Jim and there's Todd.
And over here in the luxury suite, Lisa Gray, our producer.
Wow.
It's so luxurious. I might sleep here tonight.
Right, I mean, that's incredible. All of our creature comforts over there.
I know,
put
it's
my
nice.
head down here.
It's not that nice over here. I mean, we do have the beach, I guess, but
Right, this part's nice.
yeah,
And,
it's nice out there.
yeah, after we're done, we'll go out there and...
Yeah, and she can stay in her suite.
Right. Who needs the beach when you have this little corner here?
You enjoy it over there in your little corner. Thanks for joining us today. We have got a show for you today. Let me ask you, does success in real estate still boil down to a numbers game?
Yes. Podcast over. Let's go.
Okay, there's our show. Wait a minute. There we go. That's our show for today.
Thank you guys.
Much.
Good luck with your life. We hope everything works out.
Todd, we still get paid for the whole show, right?
Right.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
By the minute. You get paid by the minute.
All right. So, does success in real estate still boil down to a numbers game? On the topic of numbers, Lisa has some wonderful stats for us, as always.
Always.
The odds of winning a Powerball lottery jackpot.
This is kind of depressing, isn't it?
It is depressing. The odds are 1 in 292.2 million.
I'm not buying any more tickets after she put that stat in.
What does a
there now.
Powerball ticket cost?
Aren't they
Is it
$1 or
two?
are they?
Maybe it's two. I don't know. One or
Clearly,
two.
I never buy
Right. She knows the stats, so she doesn't buy them.
I know
Well-
what end of this equation I'm on. I'm the 292.
Well, hang on. What do you win for a Powerball?
It
Well,
depends. So it could be anywhere from 80 million up to 400, or depending on how big it gets.
Well, that makes a difference. If my odds are 1 in 292 million, I could buy 292 million $1 tickets and make a profit,
People have tried that.
right?
Oh.
No?
I may not be able to back you with that idea, but
The
I
numbers seem
support
to,
you
seem to say
emotionally.
that.
The numbers support it.
Okay.
We have to win at some point.
All right. Right.
Oh.
If that's the odds. All right.
just don't go short and do like 291 or something. Like, don't go one card short
Right.
thinking you've got it.
That's like, well, we're probably going to get into that.
Should we go back to helping them play the numbers game?
So how about professional baseball players? The best professional players hit the ball once for every 4 attempts. This means that the cream of the crop succeeds only 1 time out of 4, or 25%.
Exactly.
Life is full of numbers games, but is the practice of real estate one of them? Old school agents were told by their brokers that real estate is nothing but a numbers game.
Well, and here's what's great about this topic is that every single industry, right? Like the hotel industry, you own a Marriott down the street. Susie, that person owns a car dealership. Everything is about the numbers game. The hotel is tracking the numbers of the rooms, or tracking their profit centers, the gift shop, tracking the restaurant, what's selling. So it's all numbers.
Yeah,
so every great
absolutely.
business, the oil change person down the road, numbers game.
A lot of things are kind of a numbers game. I'm
Right.
not sure where we're going with this podcast, but we'll find out.
Well, it's
There's a dissenting opinion out there. There's more dissenting opinions recently.
Right.
about
Dissenting
Yeah,
or descending?
dissenting.
but right now the show is about to ascend.
You're talking to me about
It's sad when I'm correcting her.
You're
isn't it?
talking to me. That was my accent.
The
Wisconsin accent.
It only gets in the way like 3 times per show. That's it. And then, other than that, we can understand it.
You know what? I could use that excuse. Anytime I say something wrong, well, that's my Ohio accent, right?
It won't work for you.
Oh, sure.
All right.
I
Yeah.
hear no accent.
So younger agents apparently are challenging the idea that real estate is a numbers game. All right. The old days. I think Lisa's calling us old, Todd. But we'll see. The old
Hey, the
days.
gloves are off now, but
Back in the day, new agents fresh out of real estate school, if they were lucky enough to hang their license with a broker that offered some training, were typically told to determine something along the lines of the following. First, how many cold calls does it take to get a contact? How many contacts does it take to get an appointment? How many appointments does it take to get paid?
what do you think their average answer was to how many cold calls does it take to get a contact? If they didn't have a sales background.
My answer would be, I don't know.
2?
Well,
Because the first person doesn't pick up, so I'm thinking 2?
Well, and
Maybe.
speaking of cold call, I have to share the Floyd Wickman story that he used to teach, which was always great. And he's one of our great friends. But so he used to teach the real estate agents. He says, hey, go get that Haynes crisscross directory. Remember that?
Right.
And he said, you're supposed to make X amount of calls per day. And he said, hey, open up to a random section, start at the bottom, and start calling up, because the person who started there never got to the bottom.
I like that idea. You could actually start in the middle and still be in good shape.
That's true. Yeah.
You could.
Maybe go to letter C and you'd still be good.
My,
Nobody makes it
Now
past
she's cracking
A.
herself up.
that's good. We're not going to because she's mad at us now.
Correct. The gloves were off 5 minutes ago. Now she's in a good mood.
How many cold calls? I don't know. I'll let you know. My broker just said, keep calling until you get somebody. So, all right. So, all those numbers are great information to have. And it was challenging for new agents with no history of lead generation to determine any of that stuff. What the brokers were getting at, though, is that real estate is a numbers game. Figure out the numbers and you win the game. Some of those numbers could be pretty hairy, especially for inexperienced agents with no sales skills.
And here's the truth. There are 3 ways a realtor can get business, right? We've talked about this on the show. You can buy the business. A lot of realtors do that. Billboards, buying leads. I talk to realtors every week. Hey, I'm tired of buying leads. They're buying inquiries, not leads, a lot of them.
Yeah.
So they can buy the business. They can wait for the business, meaning, hey, I'm going to wait for the sign calls, wait for people to walk in. We have a good location, or put systems in place and go get the business. That's where you become more profitable, and that's where the numbers game comes into play.
That's when you become an active agent, not a passive agent.
Yes.
So, back in the day, how disappointing was it to hear that it might take 100 or more cold calls or door knocks or whatever, smiling and dialing, just to get one lead?
Unless you're charming, then it might go down to 50. But
It might, but then who knows if they're actually going to do business with you. I
True.
mean, charm only goes so far.
true.
So, then it might take another big number of touches over a significant time period to convert that lead to a sale. Now,
Here we go.
Take your time, breathe.
Composure.
Jun Chu, Junchoo,
Senior Vice President.
Senior Vice President, Buyer and Seller Products at Zillow Group, is a firm believer in real estate's numbers game label. He believes that once an agent determines how much money they want to make, then they need to figure out the numbers required to obtain it. The average agent makes $35,000 a year, Jun stated. And to get that, your average commission will need to be about $6,000, or one closing a month, with 12 transactions a year. Chu continued.
Now, speaking of this tool, we have a tool that agents can use of what he's explaining here on our website, correct?
Yes, we're going to talk about it actually
Right.
at the end of this episode. It's a free tool.
Excellent.
that
So stick with
Prosper-
us on here, you guys, because at the end, we're giving you a gift
Yeah.
to make this part easy.
Is Chu a common name?
Super easy. Yes, my oldest son is named Chu.
So, if Jun Chu married Mary Chu, would she be Mary Choo Choo?
Oh, boy.
It's like
We've already saw them lose it on the show.
I'm in a daycare. It's like I'm in a daycare.
It's only every Thursday you have to deal with this. Yeah, he would be Choo Choo. Hi, I'm Mr. Choo Choo. He got a lot of business.
This is the man who thought I didn't hit the T strong enough in the word dissenting.
So the question then becomes, to reach that goal, how many prospects do you need in your database? So even though
Take over, Todd.
Oh, God.
so even though
Jim's pulling a Lisa right now, and he's lost his
Greatest
info.
crack-ups, greatest crack-ups.
Right, he'll be on Facebook next week.
even though Chu is not from the old school, he still finds that keeping track of your Lisa. You knew putting a name like this in here.
She
Come
did
on.
that intentionally.
This is like a buzzword for you. I want to test this going forward. If I just say the word, once,
Right.
you start
You'll be able to get him.
It's like
So here's a question you need to ask those of you listening and watching. How many leads do you need to convert, right? That's what Chu says. So
Yeah.
playing the numbers game, you just work backwards. And the better you get at the game, the tighter that's going to be.
well, and clearly he's a believer in a numbers game, but we're gonna talk about somebody who's not a believer in
Right.
it. feels it's not part of how you win in real estate, which
the way he got there was by playing the numbers game. We're gonna talk about that.
Can't wait to hear this guy's name.
Right.
It's gonna be his...
he's not sharp like Chew. I'm going to tell you that.
So even though Chew is not from the old school, he still finds that keeping track of your numbers pays off. How many leads you need also depends on how well you convert them, he said. On average, 4% will convert, he explains. Online leads will be less, while referrals will be more. Chew continued. Chew. Continued like.
What's in his cup over here?
I don't know. These are.
Chew. Excuse me. Okay.
Can you give us like a Mary Smith
on,
or a
that's
John?
That's funny. Come on.
We got a courtesy smile out of her.
All right. He went on to figure out that the agent in this scenario will require 300 leads over the course of the year, or 25 a month. That is the reason this is a numbers game, Chew claimed. You never put people's names in here this much. You are doing this on purpose.
That's not one word. Chew claimed. Would you just create a new word?
I wonder if he just goes by Chew. Hey, Chew. Gonna say when they pass in the hallway.
And when he said, "Hey,
no.
Chew, oh bless you."
Hey, Chew. Oh, that does.
Oh my
Oh, that's
gosh.
bad. Chew.
Oh, we're going to be canceled.
We made it to show 118 at least.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd make it this far, so that's good, right?
Right.
All right. So, what are today's thoughts? What are today's thoughts on the numbers game?
We have a lot of them.
Not a lot of them. Not a lot of them up
Does
there.
anybody agree that the numbers game still holds true? Times have changed, according to Darren Persinger of Productivity Junkies. See, that seems like a normal name now compared to Dung Chew.
Right. Productivity junkies.
Dung Chew.
Oh, boy.
Dumb Chew.
I just hope Chew's not listening to our podcast, okay?
That can't be. That's not.
Okay.
I'm going to look that up. That can't be his name.
It can't be accurate.
No, it's not Dung Chew. You said Dung. It's John. John, not Dung.
Okay. Grab your paper and pen. We're going to the next point here. You guys are going to love this one.
Okay.
You got this.
Okay. Times have changed. He claims that real estate is not a numbers game. It's a relationship business. It's not about how many calls you make today. It's about, did you connect with anyone? He likens the old school numbers game concept to a woodpecker that pecks one time. Woodpeckers.
I think there's carbon monoxide poisoning happening in here or something.
All right. So, we're going to make it through this. We swear we are.
A woodpecker that pecks one time on 1,000 trees.
Oh, God. Is there any tissue over there?
No.
It's a good thing we don't wear mascara.
No, exactly. Yeah, we'll be fine.
All right. So that a t-shirt.
I'm just curious about the woodpecker and Chew. I'm just hoping the two of them are
away
okay.
here in a second.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So he then goes on to further discount the numbers game and provides the readers with an alternative involving their sphere of influence that ends up amounting to a numbers game.
We've come full circle.
Right. Well, here's why that's funny, but not funny. For someone to get their sphere of influence, they have to play the numbers game. So you
Right,
have to
right.
be out prospecting. You're going to have a little bit of sphere of influence just naturally, but then you're going to expand to business. Where do you buy gas? Where do you go? What restaurant? So,
Right.
So the law of reciprocity. So you're going to go to those small businesses, and you're going to keep playing the numbers game.
Well, and he's saying, to back him, he's saying, did you connect with anyone? In other words, if you're just making calls, hello, no, not interested, hang up, hello, not interested, hang up. Because a not interested today could be an interested a month from now,
Right.
2 months from now. So I think he's trying to really punch the idea of make sure you're connecting. Let it be more than just hello, goodbye, hello, goodbye.
Correct.
The woodpecker with 1,000 trees, I'm not quite sure what he means with that. Maybe just that it's you're not really. Well, actually, if a woodpecker is hitting 1,000 trees, it's not really making a dent on one tree, right?
Right,
So maybe
right.
that's the point he makes with that. But inevitably, It was a numbers game, yeah, even though he didn't want to call it that.
Well, because that has a bad connotation, because right, when people were trained back in the day, they talked about door knocking. People hate that.
Right,
and it's not even, right, who's answering their doors, right, with all the ring and nests.
So what are we saying? It is a numbers game?
Well, I think if you want to be successful and grow your business, you want to treat it like a numbers game. In fact, you better treat it like a numbers game. Otherwise, each year you'll say, start the year, this year I'm going to hit 150 or whatever that number is. And then you end up at 55. And you think, okay, next year I'm going to do, and if you're not tracking those numbers and determining what it took for you to hit 55,000 in revenue, how are you ever going to get beyond that?
Correct. And just what you said, the 150 number, think of our SOI 3 closing in 1 year guarantee.
Right.
If people don't have that, you've got to go play the numbers game to get that up, and we help them with that, whether it's Facebook or business to business. So that is possible. We help them get to that.
Right. It's either structured or it's unfocused and random.
Right.
And random means random input, random output.
Right.
I mean, that's what it's going to be. So whatever you want to refer to it as, numbers game maybe sounds cold. Maybe that's why people don't like that, and they want to think of it more of relationships. But those relationships count. They're numbers. And they're going to lead you to, you're just being honest with how many people do I personally need to speak with for me to hit my goals. You're being honest about that. And it may be different for every person, but you want to be honest about that.
Well put.
Well put. And I'm glad to say that the word chew does not appear in the rest of the show. I've looked.
He checked so he didn't have to.
What about woodpecker?
Woodpecker comes 89 more times, so be prepared. Basically, what has changed is the daunting number of cold contacts that agents from the past had to make to get a deal. With technology, that number has been whittled down by the woodpecker. Now, agents are making warm contact with lots of prospects at once, think social media here, and direct mail marketing.
Right.
In the end, it appears that lead generation truly is a numbers game. There, we got the answer. Thank goodness. As we've seen by those that insist it's not, it always comes back to numbers. Ignore them if you like, but they aren't going away. Start now getting the numbers game working in your favor by using the ProspectsPLUS one-page business plan.
Now, this is an incredible tool right here. I'm going to let Lisa explain it. But think about this. As we're going through the show, how many contacts have you made today? Have you played the numbers game today?
Yeah, and you're right. You can do it on a daily basis. Absolutely. You can have a helicopter view and look at your year, look back at your previous year. The ProspectsPLUS one-page business plan, what's cool about this is it's available online, so you can plug the numbers in right online. It's only one page, so it's not something daunting, like a big, thick novel that you have to get through. Most of these numbers you should know. I think there's six numbers, if I remember correctly, that are required to complete this business plan. It's not something you just have to do in January. You could do it any time of year. I suggest you do it this weekend. Plan some time in the next week to
exactly. And it's a great tool for a real estate office to do collectively, to put it up on the screen, or everybody have their laptop, and let's work on this and print it and support each other. I mean, offices are doing that around the country.
Right. And it's pretty much reverse engineering, similar to what Chu said. I got the name in one more time.
Why'd you have to do that?
Because I had to. I don't know. I just had to make you wrong. We said it one more time. But what he was saying is talking about reverse engineering. So this is your revenue goal. Okay, let's look what it's going to take to get you there. If it takes this many leads to get one contact, this many contacts to get one listing, one closing, etc., on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, reverse engineer that to get to that end number that you want. So this number gets me to 80,000. So that means I need this many, leads in the beginning to get to 100,000, or I need this many leads, and then you pretty much schedule your week accordingly.
Right.
Look at those
go to the moon, work backwards. How are we going to get to the moon? Boom.
Right. Once you have those numbers, and again, it's a very easy process to get there. The calculation is done for you. You don't need a calculator. It's a boom, right online.
Well, and what's great is it puts you at peace, and you look at that and you're like, boom, here's what I have to do. So it reduces the stress. Yes.
Now you know.
How do our fine viewers and listeners of this show get to the business plan?
It's super easy. If you're watching us, which I'm so sorry, you're seeing
You're sorry people are watching us?
Yes, because you're seeing our craziness. You're visually seeing the craziness.
She brought out the
here today.
craziness.
Yeah, this is your stuff.
We never had craziness until
Yes.
118 shows ago.
It was
No.
me that came up with Choo Choo and all that. You're right.
Okay. Choo-choo.
But if you're watching us on YouTube,
Oh.
right in the show notes, right
Right.
underneath the area where you're watching us, the screen, is the link to the one-page business plan. If you are listening to us through Apple or whatever, we're everywhere. I mean, we're frankly everywhere. Spotify, wherever that is. Again, in the show notes, you will see the link to the one-page business plan. You can download it, or you can work with it right online. Plug in those numbers.
And I love that. And there's so many ways to use that, right? And we've talked about this before. Like in your office, you have friends. So you could use a one-page business plan, go grab a colleague down the hall that you know has intensity like you do, who wants to win, and you guys print it and share and keep each other on track, keep each other fired
Right.
up.
And you know what I personally would do is I would be breaking this down quarterly. So I'd know what I need to do annually,
Right.
and then I'd have it broken down further by kind of quarterly as
Nice.
measurements to know if I'm hitting, exceeding, etc. Because some of this is speculation based on your previous year's numbers, right?
Yeah.
Or your previous, so this time of year, maybe you're basing it on the previous 6 months numbers. So you plug in these numbers, and once a quarter goes by, the first quarter, or let's say right now you plug in some numbers and then you wait 3 months and you take a look again. And if you're below what you thought, okay, let's reconfigure this. Let's look
Right.
at what it really took me to hit the number I hit. And now I'm going to have to up that. I'm going to need some more leads than I thought, right? I'm going to
Exactly.
need more context than I thought when I
Or
figured
another
this
system
out.
in place, or another campaign.
right.
How do I get to that, right?
Yeah, if I'm not getting the leads, you're
Right.
right. Exactly. If I only was able to generate 50 leads in a certain period of time and I really needed 100, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to
Right,
put
there's
in
a
place
lot of options.
to get that number up and hit it? So I would be reviewing that on a quarterly basis minimally to make sure I hit the number at the end of the year. And think about how powerful that is. Because again, if you're feeling down about not hitting numbers or I'm not getting listings, now it's been 3 weeks, I haven't had a listing, go back to the numbers. Where has it broken down? You know, it's an amazing thing. All forms of sales, huge corporations do this with their marketing, with their sales. They look at where did something break down. If we are projecting this type of revenue
Right.
for the first quarter of the year and we didn't hit it, where did it break down? At what point along the process did it break down? And you're going to be able to do that. Was it the leads? Was it the amount of people I contacted? Was it that I didn't convert them into listings?
Well,
Where did it
exactly.
break
And
down?
sometimes, and we've gone through it, and we have colleagues that have, sometimes you just get beat up out there. Maybe they went on 3 listing presentations in a row, didn't get it.
Right.
So then they start to lose they're still smart as they were, they're still
Yeah,
as sharp
yeah.
as they were, but their confidence and power level goes down. So they're going to have to play the numbers game wider.
Right. Or if you're seeing that's where it's breaking down, well, okay, I have the right amount of leads. I was able to convert those to contacts at the percentage I thought.
Right.
I'm not getting the listings at the percentage I thought. As you're walking, and you're going to see what we mean when you go and look at this business plan. That's where I broke down. That's the point I broke
Right.
down at. All right, so you got to shore up your listing presentation. Do this in front of some people you know that are powerful. Learn some more techniques. Go shadow them. Go watch them on a listing presentation and get that confidence back.
Correct. And here's what's great. If you are playing the numbers game, as you should be, guess what? Have some fun with it. And at the very end of it, even if it's a no, great. Who do you know that needs to buy or sell in the next 90 days? So at least throw out one more at-bat with that contact. And you know what? Great. Who do you know in your work, your church, your school? Start getting them thinking. So if you get more creative and stronger at the numbers game, you're going to get some more contacts.
Right. Remember we were talking in our QR code podcast about the idea of having a QR code that people could scan like at an open house or whatever, and that idea of that follow-up survey. I love the idea
Yes.
of doing some type of a follow-up. I don't care if that means it's a postcard you send in the mail to whoever you did a presentation
That's
in front of
great.
that you lost. Find out why they didn't choose you. Ask for honesty, and maybe in some form of a survey where they're returning it, you have a self-addressed stamped envelope they can return it in, something where they don't feel like they're having to confront you, and most people are like, I don't want to say it to the person on the phone, but I'll fill out this piece of paper they sent me in the mail with a stamp and return that to them, now you're learning why they didn't choose you, and you're getting stronger from that as well.
I love that process improvement. The best
Yeah.
business people in the world are always staying
Absolutely.
humble enough to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So the link for that is going to be in the show notes
Yes.
to download
Yes.
the business plan.
Oh.
Now, if we have a listener who is currently on a choo-choo train, can they download it on the train, or do they have to wait till they get to the
Oh, by the way, if
station?
Mr. Chu is listening, we're going to give you a shirt just because we probably butchered your name so much from our podcast and a few other things.
Is that
Okay.
the one you
we would
wiped
love
your
to do
face
that.
with?
Yeah,
That
but
makes it more valuable, I
We're going to
think.
get him a clean one. No, it's not dirty. It just has some tears on it.
but they were tears
That might be more
caused
valuable.
by his name.
Happy tears.
If this guy actually exists.
Correct. That could, yeah, we're going to have to research this.
All right. Now we've done that. Why don't we make somebody a big winner?
Yes.
Yes.
Shall we?
Yes, let's do this.
Does anybody mind if I just thumb through here and look for somebody named Chu?
You're not going to find it.
Okay.
And
Todd is now
It's going to
looking
be-
through the stack and
Boom.
pulling something out randomly. He
might be
has pulled
Chu's
out
relative.
Stephen Haas.
And Steven sent out a
Lisa,
what?
are you attracted to cowboy hats? We know you like beards.
Only when Clint Eastwood's wearing one.
All right. Well, he doesn't look like Clint Eastwood, but
He reminds me of that country singer that used to always wear a black cowboy hat.
oh yeah, that country singer with the cowboy hat. Yeah,
The cowboy.
Right, yeah.
Campaign cowboy.
No, Clint Black.
Clint Black,
Remember him
okay,
from
yes,
the 90s?
yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of making fun. Doesn't every country singer wear a cowboy hat?
But not black. They typically don't do black. Where's the phone number?
What color would it be?
Brown. Black or
I
brown.
don't know, but this
Brown.
is unique. And you know what? Steven looks awesome.
He's going to answer because he's doing some creative marketing there. So we're going to get him.
All right. You know what? I will say that we haven't hit any wrong numbers lately.
We're doing better there with no glasses still.
Mm-hmm.
No
I
glasses.
got to be honest. This one is a dumb founder. Okay. I don't know why. I think it's too small. Too small.
Well, it's ringing at least.
So I think I got it right. I'm blown away.
Pick up.
Steven here. Great hat.
Place I'm about to call.
Love
I thought
the
you said his
hat.
name was Clint.
No, Clint Black is a country singer. Oh my gosh. As a country singer, I used to always wear a black cowboy hat. Not a
right.
lot of them did.
Glen Ellen, Illinois.
Hello, this is Stephen Haas with Remax Suburban. I'm sorry, I'm not.
All right, so much for that.
Steven's out riding a cowboy. Or I mean a horse.
So,
jeez.
what? That just hit me there. You can tell that from that picture?
Fine dining. Okay, and who's our next recipient?
It's like the gay ranchero there. Okay. All right, so we're moving on now.
We're moving on to happy hour, you guys. We can't take it anymore. This guy,
All right.
this guy's for real.
This guy's just going
What the
for
heck?
plain Jane, apparently.
Right, but he's
that's fine.
he's doing custom unique, so he's going to answer because he's thinking leads. So
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that's
What-
a good theory.
that's how I'm looking at it.
Does he get a discount for having no color on the side? Is that a thing?
What I want to understand, and hopefully we won't get him on the phone, but why is it centered and then the
Hopefully
we
won't.
won't get him. What?
I thought of course that's how it happens. We don't get anybody on the phone. That's what we.
Here another one.
All
I
right.
don't understand why he left a line, the top line, and the rest was. I cannot speak to that man.
Prospects
Right.
Plus allows people to upload what they want. So,
Yes.
all right. So here we are doing a condo. It appears Miami Beach.
Oh, and a great building.
like
That's going to be
that.
a great commission.
All right. Dial up this number, please, Lisa.
I'm not gonna talk about
305. There was a lot of punching for three numbers there.
Yeah.
All right. 323 7017.
Let me see.
Is there an extension on there or something?
Yeah, it's complicated over here on this side of
Okay.
the studio.
You're in the
unit
Posh
for
Country
rent.
Club side or something there, right?
Let me see that one because something didn't.
Apparently you didn't dial enough numbers because nothing is happening here. All right.
Here's what I say about this one. What is going on with the border?
Well, it's
She opted to have that nice border. We're going to call Raymond right now. His number is the following. 978.
all right. Raymond is going to answer, I'm sure.
Ready?
All right, 978-502-8352.
In case you guys haven't noticed, this is the best part of our show.
I think they should leave all this stuff in. This is pretty good.
Oh, exactly.
This whole show has been kind of a crapshoot the whole way. So.
Especially once we learned about Chew's name in the production meeting.
Hello?
Hello, is this Raymond?
This is Raymond. Who's this?
Raymond, this is
This is
Jim.
my MLS mailings?
Well, yeah, we're calling on behalf of Prospects Plus. You know that place?
Oh, same thing. MLS mailings, right?
Yeah, MLS mailings.
You're on the podcast with us. Take a Listing Today podcast. We want to give you a chance to win a $100 gift card and congratulate you on your postcard and your campaign you're doing.
Oh, goodness. All right, sounds good. What do I have to do?
He's in.
Tell us about your postcard and what are you guys doing? Just listeds? Are you doing some other stuff as well? We have the card right here. It looks great.
Okay, so I've got a great story, and I know you're sorry if I was a little rude at first. I get a lot of telemarketing calls, and I don't want those.
Believe me, no, you're great. You're great.
So you know this is real. So I'll tell you an example. Last year, I sold 2 houses in a neighborhood 2 towns over from my office. Not a town that I do a lot of business in. I sent out my postcards on both properties. I got called by a neighbor. The neighbor, I worked with them for 6 months, giving them some advice. I got the listing that's going to close over $800,000. We listed it for $735,000, and we're going to sell it for over $800,000. The appraisal's already come back from 250 postcards that I sent out, just listed and just sold. And I
love
always do
it.
both.
Well done, man. Well done.
That's nice.
I keep track of where my business comes from, and postcards is one of them. Matter of fact, I stopped for a little while, maybe about 3 months, and my wife kind of kicked my butt and said, "You better start doing those."
They're good at that. We're good at that.
That's funny.
She is.
That's funny. She put you in the shape.
She says, "Honey, we need some more postcards out."
You know, we were going over the pipeline, and she said, "You haven't been doing postcards. Look at these other sales you've had." And I've had multiple from the postcards. They've worked. I got from one postcard. It was 3 years ago. I got 2 additional sales from it.
That's
so,
awesome.
You know, it does work.
Well
That's
done.
awesome. And Raymond, you're on the MLS mailings product from Prospects Plus. So these just go out automatically for you when you take new listings and when your listings sell, correct?
So yes and no. It can go out. You allow me a chance to review them. When I'm doing something from my community, I do change the, you have 3 or 4 different, how you can say it, trust an agent with over 25 years of experience, or trust an agent with over 25 years of experience and lives in your community.
Right.
So
Nice.
I will sometimes cancel, and I go right back in. It's literally 2 minutes to change the wording. It's an auto, it's a macro. You just click on it, fills it in, and they come out. They work.
Wow, that's great.
Well done. Well done. I think we should load him up if he wins a prize here. Let's load him up.
Let's do that. Raymond, now that you know that we're legit, we actually have a part of our show here. We have a contest where we give away gift cards for ProspectsPLUS.com. I don't know if you've been on that website or not, but same company,
Yes,
Prospects Plus
I
MLS
actually
mailings.
use them to the other state. So
Yes.
I have 2 different addresses, one for my Massachusetts work and one for New Hampshire.
Well done.
Good.
Very nice. Very
Good.
nice. Now, when we ask these questions, they're not real estate related. They might have a little goofy slant to them, but it's for a $100 gift card anywhere on our websites, anywhere for any of the products, and
on Prospects Plus.
on Prospects Plus, and some swag from our show today. Take a Listing Today for you and your wife. We're going to send you some fun stuff here.
Yeah. Maybe we can send them 2 T-shirts since clearly they're a team.
Yep, I like it.
All right. Sound good, Raymond?
Absolutely.
All right. I'm going to read you the question and 3 possible answers. All you have to do is give me the correct answer. Ready?
Okay.
All right. Here's your question. In what year was Broadway established?
Oh boy.
Was it 1750, 1850, or 1950?
Yeah, that's my thought.
I'm going to go with 1850.
It has to be. I agree.
1850. Show me 1850.
Be good to him. Be good to him.
Oh, man.
What?
Oh,
That's a trick
It
question.
could not have been that 1800 thing.
it was 1750. Broadway.
Okay.
I know it wasn't 1950 because they have the Roaring 20s.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
We're gonna.
Wow.
I think we're gonna give you another chance. That was a little much there.
Let's do that.
Okay.
That was a little much. 1750. None of us were around then.
Yeah.
So.
So, I mean, Broadway. People were buying tickets. Going. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't
I don't-
think it was even established enough for Broadway to exist. It's the
Right.
1700s.
All right.
Wow. Okay.
Well, let's move on to something not relating to Broadway. We're going to give you another chance here, Raymond. You ready? Good. Here we go. What animal can be seen on the Porsche logo? Is it a Pegasus, a horse, or a unicorn?
A unicorn.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
Are you still with us, Raymond?
Raymond, are you driving?
Oh, we lost.
Did you hang up on him?
No.
Raymond, you there?
The call is still active. Maybe did he mute? Are you mute? Did you mute us, Raymond?
Did you mute yourself? Or maybe you muted us. Was he upset about the Broadway question?
No, he's still on the phone. He's in a bad area or something.
He is clearly not saying anything.
I'm gonna try and call him back.
We've never had this happen before, have we?
Right. No, this is at the beach. A lot
This
goes
whole
on.
show is just
That's 785, right? 785.
no.
It's a word
Which
salad.
one? I wanted to grab it. Which
978-502-8352.
Okay, I got it.
Got it.
That was a great story. Talk about enthusiasm. He went from.
Maybe he had a buyer calling and he hung up on us. Uh-oh.
Oh, his phone died or something.
We should give him the prize, though.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I say.
He stayed with us. I say we give it to
Yeah.
him. Let's make an exception.
Yay!
When you're watching the show, you're going to have this on the way to
There we
you.
go.
Your phone died. You're a trooper. $100 gift card and some swag from Take a Listening Today podcast.
What a deal. The answer was Pegasus.
All right. Lisa and I had it right.
Yeah.
Good job. All right. I'm sure Raymond would have known that, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he was going to say unicorn.
Probably not. What was the other one?
Horse.
Horse. All right. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
Hey, congratulations! All right, you know he's really excited, but he can't share it with us right now. His excitement. So. All right. Anything else, Lisa?
No. I say we end it before, I don't know, this room goes up in flames.
Can't remember what the topic was here today. Oh, yes, the numbers game. Success in real estate, a numbers game. So we went from old school it was
Right.
to now the young agents don't think it is to the experts say it
It
is.
definitely is, yeah. You can call it
Correct.
something else.
Okay.
You don't want to call
Right,
it numbers
right.
game, call it a math game.
Correct. Call it your sales funnel, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it.
Call it what you want, just don't call
Yep.
it junk chew. All right.
There's no G.
you.
There's no G.
He had to
on
do
the
that, didn't he? He had to.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for making it this far.